all ready for some real life English? This lesson is going to be a power packed lesson where we are going to not only speak English, we are going to do some listening practice with vocabulary overview where you are going to learn some important phrases followed by the descriptive speaking. Descriptive English speaking, that is, speaking about your everyday situations, speaking fluently with the use of metro or underground, whatever you want to call it. So, we are going to take metro today, a metro scene, and with the help of this, we are going to cover three certain aspects of English which are very important, and this is going to be a lesson that is going to be very important in development of your not only the fluency but overall English. So, are you all ready for this? Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you all are absolutely great. I'm Shivangi Gupta, your CELTA-certified English language tutor, certified by the University of Cambridge, the UK. Before beginning, please subscribe to the channel so that you can get all the lessons that I post for you on this channel. Please like the video and share it with your friends too. Now, coming back to today's lesson. So, I have a video for you, a short video clip, which you have to observe, watch carefully, and you have to listen because you have to fill in the blanks. I'm going to give you an audio test. So, let's begin. Okay, so here's the video. I'm going to play it. Listen to the audio very carefully and observe the scene.
Please mind the gap between the train and the platform. Stand clear of the closing doors.
Okay, once again.
Please mind the gap between the train and the platform. Stand clear of the closing doors.
Okay, so now here is the question. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform. That was the instruction given by the audio that is being played, right? So, mind the gap. What is this? This is actually a phrase, a warning phrase that is often used at railway stations, whether it's a metro, it's a monorail, it's something else, maybe a bullet train, you're traveling by any train, you will find this kind of announcement. Please mind the gap. It is to warn passengers of the gap between the platform and the train. So please mind the gap. A phrase, right? Right there you have one vocabulary. Now the next question. Okay, so the next question is stand clear of the closing doors. Clear of the closing doors. So stand clear of the closing doors is again a phrase that is used often at such places, and it means again to warn the passengers to not get trapped or hit by the doors, the closing doors. So stand clear means you have to stand away and beware of the gap, right? Again, the same phrase. So we've learned two phrases today, and if the answers were correct, bravo. This was the listening practice for you with vocabulary. Now, one more word that I want to give you for today is passengers. 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 3 syllables, and you have to stress pa. Passengers. Repeat after me. Passengers. Passengers are being warned of the gap between the train and the platform. Repeat after me. Passengers are being warned of the gap between the train and the platform. So this was some shadowing practice for you too in the lesson. Now the next word. Platform. 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 Again, this might look a bit tricky with lots of syllables and all that, but no, it's not like that. Just 2 syllables. Platform. So plat, that consonant cluster right there can be problematic. So repeat after me. Platform. Platform. There's a transition between P and L. Platform. Right? Once more. Platform. Oh, that's great. That is great. Now let's move forward to the part that we all are waiting for. That is the descriptive speaking practice. We're going to describe the whole scene now. This part is my favorite, and this is something that we are going to do together in this lesson. So let's look at the scene once again. And this time, when you're going to look at the scene, you have to notice individual objects. How many objects are there? What is there in the video? That is what you're supposed to do. Let's check. Okay, watch it.
Please mind the gap between the train and the platform. Stand clear of the closing doors. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform. Stand clear of the closing doors.
Okay, now we have watched the video twice. So, as you can see in the video, there's a man standing right in front of the ticket machine. Then, next, there is a woman in a yellow overcoat. A man is standing right beside her with some headphones. There is this red metro. There are blue seats inside, which I can see. And then there are these signposts right up ahead, overhead, right? We call it overhead because it's hanging above. It's overhead. So there are signposts overhead. This is a tunnel or a tube, right? So this is underground metro, you can call it, underground tube, you can call it. So if you are in London, you call it a tube. If you are in France or maybe you are in India, you call it an underground metro. So this is what it is. Now, anything else? Anything else? What else? We have to find out the actions. Okay, look at the video and try to find out as many actions as possible.
Please mind the gap between the train and the platform. Stand clear of the closing doors. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform. Stand clear of the closing doors.
So, what's happening in the video is, right, I'm gonna play the video and I'm going to tell it, I'm gonna say it out loud at the very same time. Okay, now watch it without the audio. I'm gonna play. So there are people passing by. They are trying to board the train. There is a woman who is crossing them and she is turning to look behind at another woman who's standing in a yellow coat. And you can see the doors are getting closed right after passengers have boarded the train. There's a lady in black who is coming towards the train and she's carrying a black handbag. A man is standing on the platform. He has put on his headphone and he's listening to the music. Probably they are waiting for the next metro because this is not the one they want to board. This is a scene of a busy day, busy work day, and we can see quite hustle and bustle. So, hustle and bustle is a word that you use to describe crowd and noisy areas full of crowd. So, that kind of area has hustle and bustle because you can hear a lot of noise of people going about, doing their thing. So, that is hustle and bustle. So, this is what you can call, in one word, you can call it a busy work day at subway or metro. So, people are waiting for the metro, some people are boarding the metro, some of them are coming out. Everyone is going to the work or on their way to reach the destination. So, this is it about the description of this video. So, a lot of details that we can add and a lot of things that we can say. Now, if I want to add details, I can add a lot of details to it. For example, there's a lady in the white overcoat. She's walking by. She is turning to look behind and she's carrying a brown handbag. So, we can describe one element as much as we can or as much as possible. You can take up separate elements, separate things, and you can describe those things. Your listening practice, your vocabulary practice, your shadowing, pronunciation, and also your descriptive speaking all in one. This was the real life English lesson where you've learned all aspects of English with a day at the metro. So you board public transport. I'm sure you do that. A lot of people do that. And this can be really helpful for them to describe their day, to speak about certain aspects of that particular section of their life in English. So, what are you waiting for? Whatever you've learned today, go apply it. So, the special tip of the day. Special tip of the day is that use phrases a lot in your life. There are certain phrases that we listen to, that we interact throughout our day. For example, stand clear of the closing doors. Stand clear. Mind the gap. Mind the gap. So you can say, mind the gap. You can use these kind of phrases to warn somebody, or you can use these kind of phrases for some announcement. So whenever you're around in your environment, you see a lot of phrases, you hear a lot of phrases, and be watchful for these kind of English phrases to learn from your environment. Learning English in real life environment makes it contextual for you, and when it is contextual, you get more exposure, and hence you grasp more things because now context is relevant to you. So that is what I always say. Use it in your real life. When you use it in your real life, you become more fluent and you're more confident about using the new vocabulary you're learning. So that is it for today. That is it. And I'm gonna meet you again in a new lesson. Till then, everybody, take care and bye.